This has serious implications for the Yankees as a report has came out regarding the future of the first base position, and with multiple changes to this roster coming in the matter of weeks, this move will put all the pressure on this young player. What is this move? Well, we'll talk about it here on another edition of Yankees Digest. What's going on, guys? Alex Brooks back here on Yankees Digest to dive in on everything surrounding the New York Yankees in this offseason. But before we get right into this video, if you guys are not a part of the 26.7% who are subscribed to this channel, you guys better hit that subscribe button. Comment down below. We are almost to 9,000 subscribers, and we really would appreciate all the support that we can get on this channel. If you guys subscribe, you will be updated on everything surrounding the New York Yankees and all the rumors surrounding this offseason. It's going to be a big offseason here on Yankees Digest. But getting right into this video, as we talk about Paul Goldschmidt, the first baseman for the New York Yankees. I mean, a tip of the cap to Paul Goldschmidt and what he's been able to do for this Yankees team in 2025. But it was reported earlier today surrounding Goldschmidt's future as a New York Yankee, as Jonathan Adams at Heavy Sports reported that the Yankees also have several of their own key players who will be free agents as well, including first baseman Paul Goldschmidt. The Athletics' Chris Kirschner and Brendan Cuddy report that the Yankees do not plan to re-sign Goldschmidt. Instead, New York is expected to turn to Ben Rice to take over as the club's new first baseman. So that was breaking news out of Chris Kirschner and Brendan Cuddy. And Paul Goldschmidt, definitely a guy that the Yankees relied on this season to be mostly of the defensive when, they put Ben Rice in for most of the game, but put Paul Goldschmidt especially in that ninth inning just in case anything went awry. But when you're looking at it as offensive numbers, I mean, this was something from a guy who is 38 years old, just putting on a really good clinic at the batting position. He was a former MVP, 7-time All-Star, 4-time Gold Glove, 10 home runs, 274 batting average, and 45 RBIs, along with 5 stolen bases on the season. That is pretty solid for a guy who is splitting reps with Ben Rice throughout the season. And, what's something that I like about Paul Goldschmidt is that he was a stable veteran in this clubhouse. When the Yankees are surrounded by a lot of young guys like Volpe, like Jazz, like Wells, like Ben Rice, you have guys like Paul Goldschmidt who are veterans and can help, kind of calm the storm that is the New York media. And he was able to adjust really good to this New York media being a New York Yankee for the 2025 season, as it was very up and down throughout this whole season, and he really adjusted really well. And just as I mentioned, a tip of the cap for Paul Goldschmidt, because he was a guy who I loved seeing personally back 10 years ago, 10 to 12 years ago in the Diamondbacks when he was with the Diamondbacks organization, and he was a great player there. He went to the St. Louis Cardinals, and then now with the New York Yankees, just being able to see guys like him, like Anthony Rizzo, just getting the chances to be a New York Yankee and put on this Yankee uniform. It was just something great to see from number 46, the first baseman of the New York Yankees in 2025. And when we look at the transfer over to Ben Rice, this was something where Paul Goldschmidt was going into this season and he was supposed to help Ben Rice be the next first baseman of the New York Yankees. And he did exactly that. He really helped Ben Rice and what he is going to be in 2026 and beyond. He knows that this season was supposed to be just mentoring the young guy in Ben Rice to take over that position for the future. And Goldy, having a solid year offensively, having a solid year defensively, now transferring that over to Ben Rice can be a role model and can be an example for how you play the position at first base. And, this was very interesting surrounding Paul Goldschmidt and what his time was with the New York Yankees. He said he loved playing with Aaron Judge and enjoyed mentoring Ben Rice at first base. As the year went on, Goldschmidt looked his age more and more, while Rice was getting most of the starts against right-handed pitching. And yeah, when we were looking at this season for Paul Goldschmidt, he definitely was looking his age. But when you're looking at why the Yankees decided to go more with Ben Rice was because of these stats. When you're looking at it, 26 home runs, 255 batting average, 65 RBIs, and 119 hits on the season from the young 26-year-old. When he came up, he was definitely very green. He had the power, he had the ability to get on base, but it wasn't at a very good clip. He was, batting in the low 200s, but this season he kind of ramped that up, being at a 255 batting average and having close to 30 home runs. And this is only his second season in the big leagues. So a huge leap from year 1 to year 2. And I'm expected him to take over this first baseman spot and just be this utility guy that the Yankees can rely on, both at first baseman and catching. And, when we're looking at what he was doing this season, he could have had a way better average. I mean, he was one of the biggest hard hitting players in the MLB, and he was one of the most unlucky hitters because he hit the ball so hard. When you're looking at Fangraphs this season, the 2025 top 10 hitters, Ben Rice was number 10 in that top 10. When you're looking at average on base percentage and slugging percentage, and just a huge jump for Ben Rice from year 1 to year 2. And when he is able to develop another off season, get into the lab and, go with Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton and help be more of a threat at the offensively, he can be a huge catalyst for this Yankees team in 2026. And I definitely think that with what he has been able to do so far this season, it is showing a lot of potential, very promising for this Yankees team that they can build around and have a solid guy at first base. And when you're looking at just his stats this season, 26 home runs, 377 on base percentage, 499 slugging, along with having 65 RBIs. He was 13th in the American League in 836 OPS while mixing in first baseman and catching. So having the ability to play the catcher's position, play first base, and having those numbers, very, very impressive from the 26-year-old Ben Rice. And I really think that this is going to be a huge piece in why the Yankees are going to contend back in 2026. And they're going to have to rely on a guy like Ben Rice to fill in that spot and take it over with flying colors. You definitely have some holes at the baseman spot. You have Ryan McMahon there, but he is more of a defensive guy than an offensive guy. With Ben Rice, if he's able to improve defensively, he can be a 5-tool player at a really premium position at first base and have the utility, experience, and flexibility being at the catcher's position. But I definitely think that with Ben Rice and, with Paul Goldschmidt being able to mentor Ben Rice to help him improve defensively, offensively, and be a catalyst for this Yankees team this year, I definitely think it's going to help him in 2026 and beyond to be one of the best hitters in this Yankees lineup. But that's going to do it for another edition of Yankees Digest. Appreciate all the support you guys are giving us on this channel. Again, subscribe, comment down below. I want to know your thoughts on Ben Rice and Paul Goldschmidt leaving the Yankees in the 2025 offseason. What do you think the Yankees need to do to improve this team to go win a championship in 2026? Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and let's go Yankees.